he responded, rubbing the back of his neck at the awkwardness of it all.
I didn't want to tell Everypony about last night because of what happened, and I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I'm really, really sorry about embarrassing you like that.
The yellow Pegasus shook her head.
Macintosh, you're not the one who should apologize. I should be the one saying I'm sorry.
Her stance shifted uncomfortably.
My behavior last night was very inappropriate and inexcusable. I caused you so much trouble that I wouldn't blame you for being mad at me and never wanting to speak to me again.
I wouldn't go that far. To be fair, you were drunk at the time, and you weren't acting yourself. I wasn't going to hold anything that happened last night against you. Honest.
Her face colored lightly, and she smiled shyly.
You're too kind, Macintosh, and I wish I could repay you.
This time, Macintosh shook his head.
You don't have to, Fluttershy. I was just being neighborly.
I don't mean to be contradictive, but what you did was more than just being neighborly. I mean, I guess walking a drunk neighbor home could be considered neighborly, but you saved me from falling off that bridge. That alone I have to repay you for. Then you put up with my...
Her ears flattened against her head as she grimaced.
My, aggressive flirting. I can't believe I tried to seduce you. I am so sorry that you had to put up with me when I was like that.
He grinned sheepishly.
I outright didn't know what to make of it when you did it, but I ain't mad at you for it. Don't know you too well, but it doesn't seem like your normal way.
Fluttershy shook her head emphatically.
No, not at all. I'm so shy that I hardly talk to any pony, other than my friends, much less even think about actually flirting with some pony, she admitted nervously.
You kinda figured it was the alcohol talking there.
He chuckled. She frowned.
Yes, I think that was the last time I'll have anything stronger than a sarsaparilla. I really don't want to go through that again.
Can't say that I blame you.
After a moment of silence, she took a deep breath and straightened herself, actually managing to look directly at Macintosh as she spoke.
Thank you for everything you did last night, Macintosh, and for taking care of me, even with my, flirtiness. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know.
He smiled warmly.
Your thanks is good enough, Fluttershy. You don't owe me anything.
Oh, well, okay, if you say so, she replied, her shyness returning.
Yup. Well, I gotta get back to the farm. AJ's probably waiting on me.
Oh, of course. You shouldn't keep her waiting long. Goodbye, Macintosh.
He tipped his head as he turned to leave.
See you around.
As he trotted away, Fluttershy walked around to her garden beside the cottage, lost in her thoughts. She still felt distraught over her behavior the night before, but nowhere near what she had felt before Macintosh had stopped by. Before, she thought it would be a month before she could even go into town without feeling like Everypony knew about what she did, and that they would make fun of her for it. But now, just a day or two at home would probably suffice. She was immensely thankful that Macintosh had been the one to help her home. She shuddered to think what would have happened if it had been someone less chivalrous. He had been so kind and understanding, so gentle, so strong, so hunky. She blushed furiously and shook her head to rid the thought from her mind. That was no way to think about him, especially after he had treated her so well. She knew he was the kind of stallion that all mares in town would kill to have, if any of the scandalous whispers she had overheard were anything to go by. She was certain she didn't have a chance with him, not when he could pick any other mare who was prettier than her. Rainbow Dash was right. She had really aimed high last night when she flirted with him. She felt foolish. She was getting so weak that getting drunk was the only way she could be exerted enough to actually flirt, let alone talk to a stallion. Right? She paused as the thought churned over in her mind. Was it really the alcohol that gave her the courage, or was it something she had already had in her all along? How could she figure that out if that was so?
Oh, Bucket! Big Macintosh!
The stallion had just made it to the bend in the path near the fork when he had stopped and whirled around about at the sound of his name. Much to his surprise, Fluttershy came galloping down the path toward him. She skidded to a stop in front of him, panting with sudden exertion.
Fluttershy, are you okay? Is something wrong?
No, I'm all right, she managed to say between pants. She swallowed and composed herself. It's just, there's this new Naples restaurant just off Main Street. Rarity says it's a really nice place. This was the moment of truth. Did she really have the courage to go through with it? Would you like to have dinner with me?
Macintosh stared at her blankly. Did she really just run after him, only to ask him out? Fluttershy felt her courage draining away rapidly as she started to cower.
Only if you want to, I mean. I just want to repay you for saving my life.
He finally found his voice.
Fluttershy, I already said you didn't owe me anything. I'm a stallion of my word, and I can't accept any repayment.
The shy Pegasus let her head and ears droop, feeling dejected.
Oh, okay. I understand that. Sorry for bothering you.
She turned to go, but a hoof coming to rest on her shoulder stopped her. She lifted her head to find Macintosh smiling warmly at her.
I can't take repayment,
he said,
but I wouldn't mind dinner with a friend.
She smiled, a sense of warmth filling her chest.
I'd like that.
Applejack stood near the fork in the road, watching the pair from a distance out of earshot. Eventually they nodded their goodbyes and went their separate ways. Macintosh said nothing as he trotted past her. She hadn't expected him to. It wasn't in his nature. She fell alongside him as they headed home. "So," she said with a knowing smile, "did you get things straightened out with her?" He grinned widely in spite of himself.
Yup.
The end. It's finally over. I love this fic, but this took forever, mainly because of all the technical difficulties I told you guys about before. Anyway, I hope you liked the new audio, and I'm definitely looking forward to having 3 months of summer to work on these recordings. Hopefully now I'll be able to get them out on a more regular basis. Thank you to all the faithful subscribers who have been hanging on.
And a word to all our subscribers, somebody make some more male OCs because I'm sick of playing Big Macintosh.
Thank you, Dr. Beak. And up next we have the Steadfast Sky, which I hopefully will be finishing this summer.
Oh yeah! What? I want to play more MLCs, okay? Seriously, I'm sick. Oh, if I can play Fancy Pants. Oh, I love you. That's a good fic.
Okay,
No,
I will see you next week.
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm gonna put a real quick plug in for BronyCon. For all you people on the East Coast, that is the place to be, and it's coming up this month. I hope to see all of you subscribers there, or at least all of you subscribers that can actually come. Any pony who's any pony is gonna be there. It's gonna be bucking awesome. Alright, well, I think that's about it. So, Permissive Fidel, out.